Hey guys, Jim Bounds with Motorhome Rehab Ranch, and this is episode 2 of the power steering, putting in your power steering hoses and redoing your power steering system. It's been hot outside. I tell you what, it's 8 o'clock right now, and it's already the temperatures are going up. You know, it might be that society might end up being nocturnal because we can work on at night, and it's a lot cooler. I did most of this work at night. During the day, I just stayed inside. It's just too much. Well, look, what we want to do this morning is, if you remember the last episode 1, we got all the hoses out. We talked about having the hoses made. And by now, you should have had hoses either shipped to you or made. I went to the local place that had some made. Unfortunately, when I went there was one fitting they did not have. See, that's a good reason to go ahead and buy pre-made hoses because you got a box of fittings. It's no big deal; they're all everywhere. But if the manufacturer's out of the box right then, it might take 2 or 3 weeks to get more to get the fittings. So I may do, and I'll show you about that. But that's something you should consider, and it also helps the community and helps them. Make hoses and have hoses available for everybody else. Okay. So let's get on about it. First thing we're going to do, I always like to do the hard part first. We're going to do the power steering pump. Okay. Now remember, there are 2 hoses in the pump. Here it is right here. One hose is the return, and it has a clamp on it. The other hose is a fitting. I had them put a 45 on here to kick it away, because what I wanted to do is bring both the hoses up in another direction from where they were. Originally, they went over to the frame and then went around. I want to bring it up before that. Okay? So, first thing is I connected those 2 hoses and brought them up right next to my air compressor. Heading up toward where? We're going to the wiper motor. Wiper motor originally had 2 fittings, remember? This was the sleeve for the filter, which we took out. Okay. Put it back up in there, and the first hose, this hose goes to the pump. Or this hose goes to the steering box. Second line, put the fitting back in. This is where the return goes, and the clamp goes on it, right here. Now, we used on putting this in and this, we used line wrenches, used a monkey wrench to put this on. And you can see this is out of the way, so you get a chance to get the monkey wrench and to get it to tighten up. Put that on with a line wrench, then slip it up here and put your clamp on it. Okay. Next thing we're going to do is down at the gearbox. Had a hard time seeing here, and this is where I had to go to plan B on the hoses. You can see here coming out of the steering box, this goes up, makes it 90 and goes up. This one, they didn't have a 90, so I had to come straight out. There was enough room to make a little bend and to head out, but if we had a 90 on this, it would have been much cleaner and much better, but they didn't have it. What can I say? It probably would have taken 2 weeks to get the other fitting. We have these hooked up. We've got the gearbox hooked up, and we have the pump hooked up. So they're all hooked up. The return line comes down. You see here I got it looped way out because I had to wait. I had to order this ATP filter. This is an ATP brand JX160. It's let's see, did I make a picture of it? No, I didn't. I'll show it to you when it's outside. It's a filter about that big, 3/8 inch lines on it, and goes right in line. I could have sworn I put oh, there it is. Comes right off this return, right into there, and then goes back on down to the pump. Okay. Next thing we're going to have to do is we're going to have to bleed it. Now, if you remember the last video, I did one more video, and I've been getting a lot of comments and things from you. So I'm going to do one more video, and we're going to bleed the system out. And then I'm going to go over some of the comments and things that you guys have brought to me about this. Again, this kind of follows through when you're working on a system at all. Now mine, I had leaks. I had power steering leak, and I would just fill it up every once in a while, right? You've done that, right? Well, number one, to show you guys how to do it. Number two, I knew I had a problem for a long time anyway. I knew exactly what it was. One fitting was leaking. But I didn't just fix that one fitting, I did the whole thing. And that's really the way you should do it. You do the whole, all the fittings, all of it, to be sure it all will work. And then you can worry about the other stuff. The next thing we're going to deal with is going to be the fuel delivery system, the fuel filter system. Had a lot of comments about that. Next week or something, I'll do a video on that. So this power steering system, pretty unique. It has the wiper in it. A lot of people look at it and say, "Wow, maybe we shouldn't do that." But it actually is a pretty reliable system. And think about it. You haven't heard that many people, their wipers go out, and there's a lot of motorhomes out there, and they're really old. So they must be hanging in there pretty good. So if you can renew the hoses and keep the fluid in good shape, then I think that you'll have a good system. Well, look, thank you very much for your time. If you feel that this series was helpful, please hit like and subscribe and share on YouTube, and give me some comments. The next video will be some comments about the power steering system. I know a couple of you guys are working on yours as we're doing this, so give me some comments to add to the final for our to wrap the series up. Okay. Look, it was a little bit of a short video, but I think because the first one was so long that it's okay. All right. I hope you've enjoyed the podcast we've been doing, and I hope this is meaningful to you. If it is, become a ranch hand, support us, and we got some more stuff coming. So thanks for your support, and we'll see you next time.